What's up, guys? It's Coaster Maniac USA here again with Coaster Dude to do another episode of the Kings Island show. And now, what I was thinking and what he was thinking was that since the other episode that we did together worked so good, is now we're going to actually combine each other into the Kings Island show. So now, instead of just having me, you're going to get his thoughts on everything, some news from him that I did not find throughout the week, and all that fun stuff. So let's go ahead and get this started. Are you here, Coaster Dude?
Yep.
All right, so our first topic in today's show is going to be really what everybody would expect it to be, is Banshee. But the first thing that I want to talk about with it is Banshee on Kings Island's website put up a new webcam, and if you guys want to link to that, again, the link is down in the description. It's right coming out of the loop, right where the Batwing is, and there's really that self-explanatory, just like that, and it really gives you a nice view of it. And me and you were talking earlier, and I agree with what he says. I think that once they really get the track past that point, they're going to move maybe the webcam down through there. And if you look on the original Banshee webcam, it really looks complete, but obviously it's really not. They really don't have much more to go. According to KI Central, there's only 26 pieces left for Banshee, so really they are so close to being completed. And then they've got testing and stuff like that to go through, which somebody else on KI Central said that the cars should be arriving this month, like the seats and the trains and all that stuff. And from what the webcam shows here, if you look at the original Banshee webcam, it actually looks like that the station has been started. So, Coaster Dude, let's get your thoughts on Banshee right now.
Well, I think that Banshee is going to be a great expansion to the park. It's something that the park has really needed for a while now. Diamondback was a great addition to the park. However, I think Banshee, being in the area that it is and being so close to the front of the park, I think that it's really going to draw the crowds and lessen out the crowds throughout the park. And especially, I think another good thing about the ride is that it's going to be a capacity machine, which if you don't understand what that means, it means that it's going to be a people eater, I guess you could say, and that's how Diamondback is, and that's why the lines on Diamondbacks usually are never really that long, and that's something that Son of Beast was not. And I think with Banshee here, it's really the lines are gonna get through quick. However, still, the lines are gonna be long, so don't get that mixed up that they're gonna be shorter lines, but the lines are still gonna be long. However, they won't be as long as what it would have been if, say, it was running with only 2 trains or something else like that.
So the next thing that we want to talk about is the thoughts for 2014 and our expectations on the new Kings Island season, and I will let you go ahead and get started with that.
I have really high hopes for this season. I think that, especially with what the park's been doing with Banshee and the Bat, which, if you didn't know, Flight Deck is being renamed to the Bat, and they're repainting it and everything. They're going to repaint it orange and black, just like the original Bat was, which was the first suspended coaster in the world that was built back at Kings Island, and I think it opened in 1981. However, it had a lot of issues, and it ended up closing in 84, I believe, and it was torn down, and it is where Vortex is now. But, like I said, with that, I think the park is really, right now, is sort of coming back to its prime time. And I think what Cedar Fair is doing with the park so far is great. And I'm really want to get up to the park a lot more this year. And especially on opening day, I want to ride Banshee. I don't care if we have to wait 6 hours and that's the only ride we go on. I really want to ride Banshee.
Yeah, really. I mean, that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about too, was how we are planning on riding Banshee on opening day. And if you're one of those people who really are not sure if you're going to be able to, all you really have to do is just be there at really the extra half an hour time that you get for ERT.
With the gold pass.
With a gold pass, yeah. So if you have a gold pass, just come up. What they'll do is I think they'll do it right at opening. They'll do the first rider auction for the first riders to get on Banshee, and then after that they're going to open it up to whoever's in line. So our plan is we're going to try to get to Kings Island that early, stay for the first rider auction, and hopefully be one of the first people to ride Banshee. And I think that that's going to be a big start to the season for us. I'm looking for a lot more fun at Kings Island this year on rides like the racers that we always have fun on. Diamondback's always a good one. Vortex, Firehawk, maybe get a couple more rides in on that than I have lately. Another thing is I didn't go to Soak City at all this past year, so I'm looking forward to maybe some trips there, and hopefully that's what will happen, because I know that you enjoy Soak City as well since they've changed it. So that's the thoughts on 2014. So the next thing I'm going to let Coaster Dude talk about is the Fastlane Plus, which was actually around last year, but I'd never noticed it. So go ahead.
All right. Well, Fastlane, as you guys know, it's sort of like Disney's Fast Pass. However, you pay for, I think it's $50 or $60 now, and you pay for it, and it'll get you in on most of the rides quicker because you go through a separate line than what the most other people go through, the people who don't have Fastlane, which is the regular queues, which is all the twisties and all that. But the Fastlane is kind of typically is you go up through the exit, I think, so you get on quicker. And Fastlane Plus, it was just introduced last year, and what it was is they had, I believe it was Firehawk and the Beast on Fastlane Plus. And since they were on Fastlane Plus, that meant that they were not on the regular Fastlane. And I think that's a very good plus because, no pun intended, I think that's a plus because it sort of will lessen the lines down on the major attractions, because what will happen is a lot of people will get Fastlane and they'll just keep riding and riding and riding and riding the same ride over and over. However, if you get something like Fastlane Plus, where you actually have to pay extra for the major rides, I think it'll really cut down on that because people had to pay more and they want to get more for their money. So, like I said, I have not actually used Fastlane or Fastlane Plus yet. However, I think that'll really be a big plus, once again, no pun intended, because, like I said, there's going to be less lines. And I'm checking on their website right now. The actual Fastlane online is as low as $45 each is what it says, and it does not have Beast or Firehawk. However, it does have most of the other ones, and Fastlane Plus includes Beast and Firehawk, just so I can, and you can check it out on the website too, under their things to do. They have a Fastlane tab, and it'll take you there and tell you everything about it. So that's a little bit about Fastlane. I also think that Banshee is going to be on Fastlane Plus, simply for the fact that it will be a new attraction, and the lines are going to be swamped. So I think it's going to be on Fastlane Plus, and they'll probably up the price on it a little bit too, just because it is having a new attraction, and they want to be able to get as much people on as possible and really get the capacity rolling on there, so the lines aren't as long.
So what you're saying with Fastlane Plus is you can ride all the rides from the original Fastlane, but there's also some new rides included with Fastlane Plus.
Yes, and I'm sort of surprised that Diamondback, I can see where they're coming from with Diamondback being on the regular Fastlane, because you want to have at least one huge attraction on there. However, I'm kind of surprised that Diamondback is not actually just solely on Fastlane Plus.
Yeah, and in my opinion, really, the people who should be purchasing the Fastlane, if you don't want to spend a lot of money on just a pass or something like that to get Fastlane, then it all depends on if you have a gold pass or not. That's what I'm trying to say here. If you have a gold pass and you're going to go maybe 5 or 6 times in the season, I really do not see the big need in it, even though that I have a gold pass and I'd still love to get it just to try it for the day. But if you're going to be somebody who goes there just for one day or maybe 2 days, then maybe this is a good option for you. And I think that that's really why Kings Island came up with the idea of doing this, because if people are going to come in from out of town, out of state, and all these other things just to ride roller coasters, just to be there for the day. So that's a good thing that Kings Island really did bring this up. So the next thing is going to be our reviews over the 2013 season, and I'm going to go ahead and start this. My Kings Island season this year started on opening day, just like how it always has for the past few years now. Opening day was interesting. It's just like how any opening day was, how it's crowded. You can't really ride anything. I think we only got to ride 2 rides, which really sucked. But just being there on opening day, I think, is fun, just because of the anticipation during the summer and not the winter without being there. So I think that going on opening day has always been a fun thing for me to do. Some things that I noticed this year was the park was a lot cleaner than in recent years. So they did a good job on that this year. I had a blast on rides like Diamondback, Beast, Vortex, rides like that, and definitely on Firehawk due to the fact that you don't get to ride it that much. And I remember riding Adventure Express. I think it was the weekend that it broke down, actually, and looking over at the land where Son of Beast used to be, and it just was weird not seeing it there. And then I remember maybe like the next time that I went, you could see stuff popping up, like warning signs of stuff in audio being recorded, and then the no camping sign, the owl, the weird scarecrow guy, and then going back there the next time after Banshee was announced and all the Banshee stuff that was around the park. So really, all in all, I think the 2013 season was a good year, and I would have to say my favorite ride was probably Firehawk, due to the fact that really, like I said, you don't get to ride it that much. So I really enjoyed Firehawk this season. And what were your thoughts on the 2013 season?
Well, this is the first year, well, I should say last year was the first year that I did not actually get a gold pass. Like I said, I'd been getting a gold pass for a while, but last year I already knew that I wasn't going to get up to the park a whole lot. So I didn't really want to spend the money on getting a gold pass when I knew that there's a chance I might only get up to the park once, which is what ended up happening. So I'm really happy that I did not get a pass, because I think that would have been sort of a waste of money. I went on a weekday in late July, and I think it was a Wednesday, I believe. I want to say it was a Wednesday, and it was not very busy. The park was pretty much dead, and so I can't really say a whole lot about the operations side of it, because the longest we waited was like 30 minutes, and that was for Firehawk. However, like I said, I will go on to say that the park was clean. I did notice there was not as a lot of trash out. I remember years past, there tended to be a lot of trash on the ground. And when it comes to a park, that's something that you can't really control, because people are just careless nowadays and too lazy to walk 20 feet to a trash can. But like I said, it was a lot cleaner, and that may have also been the fact that there wasn't a whole lot of people at the park that day. But in general, I did think the coasters felt normal. The racer, however, I can honestly say the racer is getting, not worn, but the racer is definitely could use some work. They did some work to cut down on the roughness of the ride. However, I think the racer looks really shanty right now, and I think that they could really use some paint in the future, so I'm hoping that they could paint it maybe like the red, white, and blue like it originally used to be. So, however, overall, I can say that the trip was very fun, and like I said, I'd love to get more trips in like that this year, so I'm really looking forward to it, since I will be getting a pass this year.
So to end the show, I want to really let the viewers get to know you more. So, let's talk about how you got started on YouTube, your trips to Kings Island, and really what your favorite ride is at Kings Island.
Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and talk about Kings Island first, because if it weren't for that, then I probably wouldn't be on YouTube right now. I can't remember where my first trip to Kings Island was. I know it was a while when I was young, so I can't really remember it. But my first real trip to Kings Island, I guess you could say, was in 2005 with a family. We pretty much stayed in the Nick Universe area, which is Planet Snoopy now. We pretty much stayed in there for a while, and I think that I rode the Rugrats Reptar, Runaway Reptar, which is now the Flying Aerial Chase, something like that. And that was really my first, I guess you'd say, somewhat introduction to coasters was. And overall, that kind of sparked my love for roller coasters. And then it would be a while, though, until I'd go back to the park. And in 2008, I had started my Extreme Coaster Mania YouTube account, which was my first YouTube account. And I had posted a few videos. You can actually type in Extreme Coaster Mania, which does not start with an E. I don't know what I was thinking. I just cut off the E, so it's just an X. But you can actually type it in on YouTube, and you'll actually see some of my videos. I don't do it, though, because they suck. And that is also when Coaster Maniac USA, which was Coco Hammond at the time, I also got him started on YouTube there, too. And then in 2009, I created my new YouTube channel called Project Coaster. And this was my main sole point, I guess you could say, for YouTube. This is really what sort of got me popular on YouTube. I made a lot of friends. I think I gotten up to probably like 130 subscribers at one time, which isn't a whole lot, but for someone that didn't really have a lot of skills, I think it was kind of big. And especially then, I was happy. I met two guys, specifically Kubota 317 and Roller Ghost 615. They really had helped me out a lot, and I probably wouldn't be on YouTube if it weren't for them. And then, however, after a while, I sort of gotten burned out on coasters, and I just kind of stopped really, I guess you'd say, caring about coasters for a while, and I started going more towards like gaming and stuff like that. So I didn't really use my account a lot, so I wanted to create more like a new account for general purpose. So I still kept my Project Coaster account. However, I was stupid and deleted all the videos and just redid the whole account. And I don't even remember what my account name is now. Project Coaster's not around anymore because I changed it to something else and I don't remember what it is. But like I was saying, I had pretty much done away with that account. And just here in the past few months, I've really been starting to think about coasters again. And I decided to create Coaster Dude, which is a denomination of the Project Coaster Studios, which Coaster Maniac USA is also a part of. So if you ever see Project Coaster Studios, that's what it's about. And now, like I said, I still do some random videos. Like I'll do some cars and gaming and music. But my sole purpose now is back to coasters, just like when I started. And I think I really have some high hopes for this YouTube channel. And I know Coaster Maniac USA has some high hopes for his too. And we really hope that we can make Project Coaster Studios big and that we could possibly even add more people into it into the future.
All right, well, thanks for letting us know more about you, and that is the end of this episode of the Kings Island Show. Go check out Coaster Dude's account, as well as subscribe to it to see all of his videos. Subscribe to this account to see all of our videos together, and we'll see you guys in the next episode of the Kings Island Show.
See ya.